vibes in ting, no skank in the rave.
We a skank in the rave. Run with coke, no shamps in the rave. Crowd go mad with the bassline.
Yo, what's going on guys? In today's video we're going to be looking at whether or not the Kohmak is actually a good weapon despite its lack of use in the community, and I've also got a pretty cool Riven to show you guys towards the end of today's video. So moving on from that, the Kohmak is a Grineer made secondary and acts very similarly to the primary shotgun called the Comb in the sense that it doubles its volleys with each successive shot. This can lead to insane levels of DPS at some of the higher level content, but the weapon is not without its drawbacks. As you can see in the background footage right now, I'm using the Kohmak and it has quite the ammo problem. I had to use 2 ammo restores in order to keep the thing going, which can be extremely annoying. However, if you really like secondary shotguns and want a really high DPS weapon, this might be your new go-to weapon as it's just so damn strong. You may be asking yourself, what are the actual stats of this weapon because it's so rarely seen, so I'm going to go over the stats right now too. First of all, the weapon unlocks at Mastery Rank 5 and has the trigger type of Auto Spool. These two factors make it quite good for newer players, although its resource costs are also quite intensive. The weapon notably costs a former and 2 detonite injectors to build with a 24-hour wait time. However, the weapon also has a Riven disposition of 4 out of 5, deals mostly slash-centered damage for IPS, and has a great status chance at 23%, not to mention its decent 11% crit chance and 2 times multiplier. Now that we've gotten most of the weapon's notable stats out of the way, it's time to discuss potential reasons why the weapon isn't very highly favoured in the community and sees next to no play. One of the main reasons for this is its ammo consumption, making its utility factors as a weapon pretty much undermined in the long run. It also takes quite a bit of time to spool up like a minigun of sorts, which can be annoying when you just want to kill some weaker mobs. One of the Kohmak's biggest disadvantages from a DPS standpoint is the fact that it is a status based secondary shotgun with a 23% status chance because of the way that status chance and shotguns work in this game. Each individual pellet has its own status chance unless the weapon ends up with 100% status chance, ignoring multi-shot bonuses, which can be quite taxing considering you will probably need a Riven mod to boost the weapon's status chance to 100%. Honestly, I don't know if you guys, what kind of Wraith weapons or Vandal weapons you guys would be interested in seeing, but I would love to see a Wraith Kohmak with maybe some buffed crit stats, because this weapon is an honest to god monster. Honestly, I think this could be one of the highest DPS weapons in all of Warframe. Honestly, if they could buff it, maybe in a new damage 3.0 or whatever, and they can give a Kohmak Wraith version to the game, I think this really would be an absolute monster of a weapon. While it would be cool to see a twin Kohmak Wraith, I think the regular Kohmak Wraith should come first because the weapon is overall is arguably better because of the fact that it has a 4 out of 5 disposition, whereas the twin Kohmak only has a 3 out of 5 disposition. The main advantage of the twin Kohmak over the regular Kohmak is the fact that it has an 80 mag capacity, meaning that it could spool up for way longer, whereas the regular Kohmak only has a 40 magazine capacity, and as you will see later in the video, my Riven mod has a negative magazine capacity, which of course negatively impacts the DPS of the weapon, but it also helps the ammo sustainability of the weapon as well. Overall, it's up in the air if which one's better, because it kind of depends on whether you have a Riven mod or not. And also, to be honest with you, the twin Kohmak has insane build requirements. It requires like 4 detonite injectors, 3 former, all kinds of ridiculous requirements, loads of credits. It's not a good choice for new players. It's not even a good choice for late game players, because by that time you could probably get way better weapons. But I think that this weapon really is underrated in the community. It's very underrated. Have more play considering how much DPS the weapon has, considering how cool the weapon is. Like, look at the reload animation, it's so freaking cool. I just think that we as a community, we should just look more fondly upon these kind of hidden gems in weaponry as a whole, because you know there's a lot of weapons out there that are kind of hidden gems, kind of weapons that are kind of not seen amazingly by the community, but have lots of advantages over some of the very overrated weapons in the community, such as, you know, the Lato Vandal, and I mean, well, I don't know if that's that overrated, but there are certainly a lot of weapons that are very overrated, especially pistol wise. Like the Pandero, I know used to be very overrated, but I'm gonna make a weapon. I'm gonna make a Riven review on the Pandero quite soon, so keep tuned for that. Yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff to talk about. Yeah, so moving on from that point as well, I think it would be really good if D would introduce a buff of sorts for all sorts of different weapons, if that makes sense, like how they did for the primaries, how they've done, because they didn't really do it for the secondaries. They kind of did. They changed a few things around. They did do a bit of an overhaul, but a lot of weapons still got left behind. For example, I mean, I think the Kohmak should have been buffed a bit more, to be honest. Should have been maybe 15% crit chance would have been good, and maybe keep it at 2 times multiplier, but buff the crit chance a little bit. I think that would have made it a lot better. And there are a lot of different weapons like this. For example, you could say Piranha as a whole. The Piranha as a weapon could receive a buff. I mean, it's pretty damn strong, but it's got a lot of utility things that could be improved as well. Like, I think maybe if they gave it better reload speed or something like that, could be a lot better. On top of that, it would just be amazing if they could just balance the game a bit more, allow more weapons to have an opportunity at being strong in the game, instead of just everyone using a specific subset of weapons like the Pandero and the Lato Vandal and all this crazy shit. I think they should just like focus more on balancing the game and making sure that everything's on equal footing. But as you can see, just finished the mission in the sortie mission with my Kohmak, and now we're moving on to the Riven showcase. So as you can see, we're here now looking at my build for the Kohmak. I'm not going to put the Riven in. There's the Riven right now. I'm not going to put the Riven in the build to start with. I'm just going to show you the base Kohmak damage, DPS for the weapon on these level 150 heavy gunners, and you're going to see it's pretty damn strong. It's able to kill them relatively quickly, not nearly as quickly as something like the Pandero at this stage, but it is pretty fucking strong, to be honest. It's got a lot of slash procs going on. It's got a lot of corrosive procs. That's why the status chance comes in so handy. And I can imagine that if you had a different Riven on this weapon, which gave plus damage, plus status chance, plus multi-shot, you'd probably get a lot more DPS. But look at this. This kills it one clip right there. One clip. Look at how beautiful that as well. That was one clip. There we go. Another one clip. Get it right up in their face. It will destroy them, right? And this is not even with the Riven. This is missing an entire mod slot. I could fill up this mod slot with a completely different mod, and it could still destroy them. But now I'm going to put in the Riven into the Kohmak, and I'll show you just how strong this Riven is. Look at that. Plus crit chance, plus crit damage, plus multi-shot, minus magazine capacity. The minus mag size is a bit of a downside, but also a bit of a blessing in disguise of sorts. But look at this, watch this. Look at how strong this is. Once I activate all the abilities, that's about one clip, really. That's one clip to kill an entire thing. It's got 1 meter of punch through. See, that is shredding through their armor. I think it's one of the best armor shredding weapons in the game. Probably one of the highest DPS weapons in the game as well. And yeah, it's look at that. That was ridiculous. I was like, oh my lord. That is insane, that kind of DPS. So yeah, that's been it for the Kohmak Riven showcase. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you can, leave some criticism if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Just one last quick note for you guys, since the footage didn't actually meet the full length. If you guys want me to do any specific videos, just tell me in the comments down below, please.